This training video reviews collecting basic customer information and event details using the lead capture form in PlanningPod. We'll begin in the lead capture form settings, where we can customize the information we're asking for, as well as set specific settings based on what we need for this form. You'll notice when you first come into the form that there are certain content blocks that are already populated into our lead capture form because we need this information in order to populate it into a lead within the PlanningPod system. These details include contact information. First name, last name, and email address will all be required so that we can add your inquiry as a contact in the system, and the name of the event. This will populate into the name of the lead when it comes into the system. Now, you can customize all of these fields by clicking on Actions and Edit Primary Contact. Here you'll see that you can assign a specific label to this contact. In this example, let's make them the client. And here you can choose to include certain fields and require certain fields. If this is a wedding inquiry, we're probably not going to ask for the title of the person inquiring or the company necessarily. However, we may want to make sure that we get a phone number, so we can require that of them. We can also ask for an address, just so that we can collect that information right from the get-go and get that added to the client. I'm going to click Save once I finish editing this field, and you'll see that those additional fields have populated into our contact information on our form. Now that we have the basics, we can start really customizing our lead capture form by clicking on Add Content Block in the upper left-hand corner. Headline, text block, and divider are all going to be visual options in order to make sure that your potential customer's eye lands where it needs to land, and also that you have blocks where you can explain the information that you're trying to gather from your customer. Keep in mind as you're building this that oftentimes the general consumer will not want to spend a whole lot of time filling out a form. So a lot of times the simpler you can make this, the better, but we want to make sure that you can truly customize this for your needs. So let's go ahead and skip past these kind of visual options at the top, and let's go to the option for an additional contact. Since we are going ahead and putting together a form for a wedding inquiry, I want to go ahead and add an additional contact so I can ask for that person's partner. The settings for adding this contact block are the same as the primary contact, except that you have the opportunity to make email an optional field, since we already have an email address for the primary contact. You'll notice it popped in right there at the top of our form, but we can grab any of these items and move them around. So I'm going to pull this right down here to the bottom below my primary contact. In the same way that we edited the contact information, we can edit headlines and text blocks by clicking on Actions, and we can choose to edit text block or remove it. Note that we can remove text blocks and headlines since they're not required in order for the lead capture to work as intended. Let's talk a little bit about the event name/type and the way that we can customize this to fit our needs. Clicking on Actions, I'm going to choose to edit event name/type. And this will bring us into a menu where we can add additional information. Here, we can choose to include the event type as a drop-down option on our lead capture form. This will populate from the event types that you have saved in your account settings. You can make this required. Keep in mind when requiring fields that not every client will fit into the mold of the types of events you have in your account. So it might be good to add an other in there, or not make it required so you don't lose a potential lead when filling out your lead capture form. When we're finished, we can click Save. And just as the other content blocks updated, so will the event information content block. You can rearrange your content blocks by using the arrows to drag and drop these in the order you'd like them to appear on your form. This brings us to the end of this video, but not the end of your opportunity to learn more about capturing leads in PlanningPod. Continue on to the next video to dig deeper. You can also contact us at support@planningpod.com with additional questions. Thanks for watching and have a great day.